beings." "So it seems," agreed de Vere, "and yet all of us would agree there is much we don't know about the workings of the universe. Perhaps the secret of life is out there, waiting to be discovered by one of our young luminaries." "Hear, hear," murmured Banks. "Ideas that many considered no better than lunatic ramblings a century ago are now at the forefront of science." "Yes, as Humboldt so eloquently says, reason and imagination lead us to new ways of seeing the cosmos," replied de Vere. "There are those who believe nature will be stripped of its magic if we learn all its secrets, but I think that knowledge will never kill the creative force of imagination. Rather, it inspires excitement, astonishment, and a sense of wonder." Banks nodded thoughtfully. "An interesting point." "Only consider the new discoveries of Volta and his voltaic battery. The possibilities are exciting. If—" began de Vere, only to be interrupted by Rumford, who abruptly hailed two young men who had just entered the main room from one of the side salons. "Ah, speaking of our young luminaries, here are the golden Geminis, our bright flames for the future. Come here, my dear fellows, and allow me to introduce you to Sir Joseph," he called in a booming voice. To Banks he added, "Enough prosing from us old men. Lord Chittenden and his younger brother represent the new generation of our country's intellectuals." Seeing that his own observations had been nipped in the bud, de Vere narrowed his eyes in irritation, and then moved away to join another group of scholars. The young men squeezed past the crowd at the refreshment table and hurried to acknowledge the Count's summons. "It's a great honour to meet such a legendary man of science, Sir Joseph," said Cedric, Lord Chittenden, giving a deferential bow to Banks after greeting the others. "Though Count Rumford is being way too kind, my brother and I are merely callow dabblers." "On the contrary, Chittenden. True, you have much to learn, but the two of you embody the future," said Rumford. "Your contributions to our weekly discussions at the Royal Institution show great imagination and curiosity. I sense great potential in your abilities. Indeed, I am sure you will make meaningful contributions to the betterment of society." "That is high praise indeed, my lord." With a flush of pleasure darkening his cheekbones, Cedric acknowledged the compliment with a self-deprecating smile. But be assured my brother and I will do our best to live up to your expectations," interjected his younger sibling with an air of confidence. "Yes, of course, my sentiments exactly." Another smile, though his eyes seemed to flick a warning at his companion. "As you see, Nicholas and I tend to think alike." The clever remark drew appreciative chuckles from the older gentlemen. The brothers were twins, so close in appearance that acquaintances often had trouble telling them apart. Tall, golden-haired, and gifted with faces that mirrored the fine-boned masculine beauty of a Botticelli painting, they were fast becoming the darlings of the Royal Institution for both their boyish charm and scientific acumen since arriving from the north to take up residence in London several months ago. "Let us toast to great thoughts and great expectations," said Rumford, and then gave a small cluck of concern on seeing their glasses were empty. "Ah, but you're both in need of more champagne." He moved away before the young men could demur, and returned a few moments later with 2 tapered flutes filled with sparkling wine. "The first lesson that you young jackanapes must learn is that one never allows one's glass to be empty at gatherings like this," drawled Rumford. "Liquid refreshments keep the conversations well lubricated." "Ah, well, if you insist." Nicholas flashed a crooked grin and accepted the drinks. "Cedric and I certainly don't wish to disappoint," he said, turning to his brother with an exaggerated flourish. Cedric hesitated, then dutifully